Hey guys, welcome back to this place, and if you are new, welcome here for the very first time. I am Carmen. This little cutie is Sammy, and today we are watching Season 3, Episode 3 of Lost. I am very excited. I've enjoyed the way that the season has begun. I've liked getting to know more about the others in general, and sort of Juliet, I guess, a little bit more specifically. Though my feelings on her are very uncertain at the moment. So we'll see where that ends up going. We also have Sawyer, Kate, and Jack being held hostage. And in the last episode, Jack was sort of told that if he did what they wanted him to do and answered the questions and just obeyed, kind of, right, that he would get to go home. Now, they claim he'll get to go home. I don't believe it, partially because Jack is the main character, I feel, of the show. And also just, I don't trust them. I don't know what they want. I don't know why they're here. I don't know their motivation. I don't know enough about them yet in the short time that we've sort of spent a little bit longer with them to sort of gauge their end goal and whether or not sending Jack home would be a good part of it. So I don't believe it. I'm skeptical. Yeah, that's sort of where we are. So yeah, you guys know where we are. I'm not gonna ramble anymore. Let's just watch this episode and see what happens this time. That looks like Locke. I was just wrong about an eye 2 seconds ago. And like an episode ago, rather. It is Locke. Okay, Locke is alive. Locke is alive. That is good. We know I love Locke. Okay, this is good. This is good. Who is that? Is that Desmond? So he is alive too, possibly. Unless Locke is just seeing him, because, you know, that has happened before on this island. No! Oh, it's the stick. Where's that go?
So you're gone for a whole day after a massive hatch detonation?
He can't talk.
What, you can't speak, John? You mute? I don't understand.
Yeah, well, you're not really trying to
speak
very
to?
hard, are you?
The church,
God?
sky, island,
Oh, the island.
island. You need to speak to the island.
How though?
You do remember repeatedly punching me in the face and accusing me of using heroin when I was not.
I mean, to be fair, you had kind of kidnapped a baby and were acting very erratically. So, just saying. And you do have a history, so, like, I'm not sure that we can blame him for, hey, I accidentally saw the special guest star, fuck. Anyway.
Where you headed? Eureka!
Oh, he's from Shameless. That's who he is.
My name's John.
Eddie.
Hi, Eddie.
Hey,
Nasty day to be hitching.
that's for sure.
I wonder... Okay. I love Locke. You guys know I love Locke. But the fact that he picked up this guy makes me feel like he's probably sketchy. And now cops. I'm just saying.
Rob a bank? Afraid so.
Oh, maybe they're after Locke, though. I'm just saying, Locke doesn't have the best history of being a good judge of character for peeps.
I could still take you in for picking up a hitchhiker.
That's my uncle.
Is that illegal?
He called me, pick me up.
get out of here.
Also, is it not weird that it stopped raining that quickly? And I say that as somebody from Florida where it does that all the time. But he's trying to have one of those, you know, when people go to like sweat lodges or whatever places and then they take the drugs and then they have like a spiritual experience where they're out of body and they like meet themselves and shit like that. I think that's what Locke's trying to do.
Hi, John.
Hi, I saw your name on the
It's good to see you again.
thing. Sorry.
You're sorry. That's okay. If I was the sacrifice the island demanded. Don't worry. You'll speak when you have something worth saying.
Okay.
I'm here to help you find your way again. So you can bring the family back together.
Family?
Come on. I want to show you something.
Interesting that Boone is gonna be his, like, spirit guide, though.
You're gonna need that.
Oh, shit.
John, someone in this airport's in serious danger. You are the only one who can save them.
What? Oh, they're just in the airport.
Not them, they'll be fine. For a while.
So, this is really cool. Ah, Desmond. He's with all the flight attendants?
Forget it.
Oh, he's a pilot.
He's helping himself. There's nothing you can do for them. Not yet. First, you have to clean up your own mess. Clean up your own mess.
Is it Echo that's gonna need him? It is gonna
Clean
be
it up,
Echo.
John. They've got him. You don't have much time.
What? Who has him? They're talking about Echo, right? You don't have much time. Oh my god!
John.
What the fuck was that?
I'm going to save Mr. Echo's life.
Okay. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
He was dragged this way.
Dragged?
Others?
By what?
Or...
By the polar bear.
Oh, polar bear?
Sawyer killed the polar bear.
Is that what that was?
He killed a polar bear.
Are there multiple fucking polar bears on this island? Because... explain that. Please.
Go on in there and figure out if you're a farmer or a hunter.
So which are you, John?
Hunter, right?
Nice to meet you, Eddie.
Nice to meet you.
Any friend of John's is a friend of ours.
Right. John's a very special guy.
Who are they?
Is that the hatch?
What's left of it?
Damn.
What happened?
Looks like it imploded.
How would you have survived that? Like, would he not have just gotten squished? Because him and Echo, I don't think they ran or tried to, like, you could say they got shot into the air, I guess, but how high the blast would have blown them surely would have been deadly, no? A boar.
Whoa.
Run!
Okay, I don't think you can outrun a polar bear. It's gonna be Echo. Hello, somebody. Oh, Hurley.
Dude.
He must be coming back from when they sent him back.
They kept Jack, Kate, and Sawyer. And they sent me back to tell everyone else that we can't ever go over there.
Do what they told you. Go back to the camp and tell the others.
Are you not gonna do anything?
I am doing something. Go back to the beach, Hugo.
How long would a polar bear survive on an island like this, though? Because don't they need, like, the cold to survive? No?
How come you never talk about your dad, John?
Because he was a piece of
Nothing worth
shit.
talking about.
accurate.
And I want it.
In on what?
Whatever you guys are trying to blow up.
Who's there?
Are you alone, brother?
Is it Desmond?
Yeah.
Whoa, dude.
Is he naked?
I'm not alone.
Beach camp's right over there. Can you give me some clothes?
What happened to yours?
They blew up? Maybe?
I woke up in the jungle like this.
So,
How did any of them
like
survive?
the hatch blew off your underwear.
You want to discuss this in great detail right now?
No,
Fine,
no,
let's do
that's
it.
okay. I got something in here. How do you feel about tie-dye?
I mean, just to wear it to camp to get more clothes would probably be fine, right? Okay, so far we know Locke and Desmond both survived. Yay, yay, that makes me happy.
You screwed up, John. You blew it big time.
Are you leaving? Why?
That is why, you idiot!
John,
Is he on the
friend's
run?
a cop. You know how much jail time we'd get for this much weed?
Nice picture, huh? Got him fresh out of the academy.
If he's still gathering evidence and trying to make a case, then it's not too late.
Not too late for what?
To protect us, to protect all of us.
How?
It's not too late to fix this.
How?
I can fix this.
Locke, this is concerning me. How?
How are you gonna do that, John?
Also, it's just interesting because it's like, obviously, like, I mean, in Ohio, at least now, recreational weed is totally fine. And in a lot of states, right? Okay, he's still alive. Good.
Echo.
Oh, shit! Ah! What the fuck? Okay, run. I would run as quickly as I could. Which is not that quick when you got an injured person with you, but... Could the polar bear not just come out any second? Y'all need to go.
So, when you say turn to key, you mean like a key?
He's just wearing a
key?
big shirt.
That was a fail-safe key. That seems kind of convenient. You had this magic key the whole time. Why didn't you, like, use it?
I didn't know what would happen.
You're not gonna, like, turn into the Hulk or something.
I mean, that'd be pretty cool.
So is that what made the blender noise and the sky turn purple?
I'm afraid I missed that, brother.
Brother.
Locke's gonna go after them. He said so in his speech.
What? What speech?
Yeah.
All he said was gonna save Echo and kill bears.
Just a bit shook up.
Did he have a vision?
Why'd you see something?
No.
John.
He won't. He won't. He won't.
What are you doing?
Did you know it would be me
What?
in the truck? Did you know it would be me driving? Did they choose me?
They? John? I have no idea what you're talking
I
about.
didn't load that one. So how about you just answer the question, Eddie?
Yeah. They chose you, John.
Why?
Because you hadn't been here long, didn't have a criminal record, and the psych profile said you would be amenable for coercion.
Amenable for coercion?
Hey! Lower the gun, John. Okay? This isn't personal.
What's not personal?
Well, I mean, it's personal to him. I wouldn't use those words. That's not very smart, sir.
Stop.
Don't
stop.
run. Oh
I'm
my
sorry,
god, are
John, but you're not
are you
gonna shoot
fucking
me.
dumb?
You're not a murderer.
If you run, you might make him one.
You're a good man. You're a farmer.
He's a hunter.
Nope. Not a farmer.
I don't think he'll do it, but I also know that desperate people can do desperate things, you know? Especially when you antagonize them.
You are a hunter, John.
I had a feeling he was gonna say that.
What happened?
Got him.
Who are you?
Is he alive?
We need Jack.
Yeah, I agree, but who are you?
He's not coming back. They've got him.
What? What are you talking about?
Jack's gone.
I don't understand. Okay, when were you planning on telling us this, Hurley?
What do you mean they?
Who are y'all?
Are the others. And yes, they've taken Jack. And
And
Kate and Sawyer.
Yep.
How? What happened?
What about Son,
Sorry.
Jin, and
Who are you? Why are you talking?
I'm gonna find our friends. I don't know how yet, but I will. We're gonna find them, all of them. And then we're gonna bring them home.
This is what Desmond said. His speech.
But first things first, we gotta look after Mr. Echo.
He did have a vision. How did you know about the speech, sir? Okay, so one, we have gone back to our people on the island, right? And we have discovered in this episode that Locke and Echo and Desmond all inexplicably survived whatever the fuck happened in the bunker. Now, based off of the fact that none of them really seem any more injured than they already were, except for Echo, which was because of a polar bear, I must say that because this island has some form of magic, I mean, we've seen the smoke monster, the island literally talks to people, Walt's whole existence, although that was before the island too. But ow, that fucking hurt. Sorry. I think it's safe to say that on this island, in this world, magic exists to some extent, right? So, my theory about how they're all alive, which doesn't make any sense, but was my hope, so I'm not looking to give horses in the mouth, is that it teleported them. Can I explain how that would happen? No. Do I have a plausible explanation for how it teleported them? Also, no. But it's the only explanation that makes sense to me, because let's say it blew up enough that across the island the sky turned violet, right? If they were in an explosion of that size and they just got flung into the air, which not really sure how that would make sense because they were under layers and layers of metal, but let's say that that's what happened. They would just be dead. No? They would just be dead. So, my working theory is teleportation. Again, I have no explanation for how or why that would work or makes any sense, but it's what I'm going with because I have no other explanation for how any of them would be alive at this point. So, also, how the fuck are there multiple polar bears on this island, okay? I also feel like the toy truck in the cave we've seen before, but it's such a generic, toy truck that kids play with that I don't know if I'm just remembering that it exists because it is so prevalent in our world and I've seen it a million times, or if I'm actually remembering it from this show. Also, can I just say, even though Eddie turned out to be a cop and not necessarily the bad guy, in Locke's current situation, because he brought him in and he kind of fucked up their whole operation, he is the quote-unquote bad guy. And I cannot help but feel like, as much as I love Locke, he really, anybody that Locke is, attaching himself to, I kind of automatically have to side-eye. Because you just know it's not going to work out the way that Locke wants it to, right? It's going to somehow be bad. He just doesn't have the best taste in trying to make friends. Even if, so Eddie is, quote quote unquote the bad guy because he's coming in and fucking up Locke's community that he built. But also the community that Locke found himself with and attached himself to that purports to be family were quick to drop him and blame him the second that law enforcement got involved, right? So, also not the best, you know? Like, Locke's track record for trusting people is kind of, especially in the flashbacks, it's real rough, you know? Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure that stems, you know, if I want to look at it like psychologically, from just the fact that for his entire life, Locke has been abandoned by the people who are supposed to care about him most, kind of time and time and time again. And especially when you learn that at a very young age, like Locke from childhood learned that the people that he's supposed to be able to trust, he can't. That leaves a lasting scar, right? And so it kind of makes sense that Locke is going to choose people who aren't the best people, because he might be subconsciously reinforcing that he is not worthy of sticking around for by picking people who inevitably will abandon him and will continue that sort of toxic cycle that he is used to. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe I'm just putting a little bit too much thought into that, but it also is, you know, just a known sort of psychological thing that humans, all of us, do, right? We repeat patterns that are shown to us in childhood, and we, you know, we genuinely really do accept the love that we think we deserve. We accept the relationships we think we deserve. And so much of that has to go, or has to do with how we were raised, the relationships we saw modeled for us, and the relationships that we had because of what we understood the world to be, right? So, I don't know. I just think that that's very interesting, because obviously no one is trapped there, right? Like, we can all choose to heal and to change, hi honey, our relationships and our perspective and what we think we deserve, what we think we're capable of having and everything. But until that happens, we will sort of repeat these same unhealthy, toxic patterns without even intending to or trying to a lot of the time. So just something to think about in regards to Locke, if he actually is seeking out people that he knows can never be permanent and can never give him what he actually wants. Like, he did break that pattern a bit with, is it Helen? Is it Helen? I don't feel like looking through my notes, but you all know who I'm talking about. She was his almost fiance. He did sort of break that pattern with her, but then he also continued making choices that pushed her away, which sort of reinforces the pattern that everyone always inevitably eventually leaves, right? So it's sort of interesting to look at Locke through that lens and see that even if it's not intentional, he is sort of reinforcing the patterns that he knows. Anyway, I still love Locke, and I still root for him. I still adore him, and I hope that he will go and save and, like, mount a rescue, because that would be good to see. And I don't trust that the others are just going to let them leave, you know? I also think it's really interesting that Desmond had a vision, right? So either the island was talking to him or something is happening, because how would he know about Locke's speech before it happened? And, like, he didn't remember that it hadn't already happened, so he didn't even know that it was a vision. He thought it was a memory. So that's really interesting. Also, how did he wind up naked? because nobody else was naked. I mean, he was further in, like, under the ground, so I don't know how that makes sense that he would be naked because of that, but I also, like I said, I don't know how he or Locke or Echo would have survived in the first place, so the being naked part isn't really that shocking compared to the being alive bit, you know? So, I am glad that they all survived because I really like all of them and I want to know more about all of them. And I just wanted them all to live. So I'm glad that they did. I am glad that my training of TV of being like, if you don't see a body, they might not be dead, remained true. Like, we didn't see bodies, dead ones, so they weren't dead. So yeah, I liked that. It was fun too to have Boone guest star on this episode. Unfortunately, I did see Ian Somerhalder's name before in the opening credits, which is one of the few actor names that I probably would have even recognized just because I did watch Vampire Diaries many moons ago when he was on it. This Ian Somerhalder looked more like Damon from Vampire Diaries than previous ones, so probably because it's getting closer to when Vampire Diaries was filmed. But yeah, I think that's all that I really have to say. I'm very curious if we're going to see, like, the rest of Locke's memory and see, like, whatever happened to Eddie and whatever happened to the people and just what happened in general. I didn't think that Locke would shoot him, but I also know that if people are desperate and you push them to a certain point, people are capable of doing things that they wouldn't normally be capable of doing. So that definitely concerned me. But yeah, I'm going to be curious to see how that flashback plays out whenever we hopefully eventually return to it. Also, sorry, I keep finding more things I want to say. I thought that the airport scene in Locke's vision was really interesting because it was portraying everybody sort of in the cluster that they were in right now in the airport, but like there's no way that Locke would have really known, because like it had like Saeed and Sun and Jen together, which is interesting, and then Kate and Sawyer, and then kind of with them but not Jack, and then Ben / Henry / little bitch, with the three of them. And then Hurley kind of by himself, and Desmond sort of by himself. Interesting that he was the pilot. I'm not sure how much I'm supposed to look into what everyone was doing in the airport scene. Like the fact that Hurley was like a ticket agent, Desmond was a pilot, Henry / Ben was TSA. I don't know. Anyway, I just thought it was a fun scene, regardless of if I am supposed to look into it or not. I probably still will. Yeah, I think that's all that I really have to say about this episode. I really liked it. It was fun to go back to these, the people here on this part of the island and find out what was going on with them. I wonder if in the next episode we're going to return to like Jack and Kate and Sawyer, where we were the last 2 episodes, or if we're going to stick with them right now on this part of the island for at least another episode before we go back. I don't know, but I'm very interested to find out. And if you are also interested and want to find out, then you can watch the next episode right now over on Patreon if you're watching this on YouTube, as well as my entire full-length reaction to this episode and every single episode thus far of Lost. That is over on Patreon as well, which is linked in the description down below. Yeah, that's all that I really have to say for now. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Until then, bye guys!